Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today, and today we're going to be talking about the Houston Astros potentially trading for Blake Snell, two-time Cy Young winner, one-time All-Star, and two-time ERA title winner. Blake Snell has had a bad year this year, his worst year of his career with a 5.10 ERA in 10 games and 10 starts. But I still think he'd be a solid addition for the Astros. Blake Snell in his last 4 outings has really turned things around. If you look at his last 4 outings, and I'll go over what he's done in his last 4 outings, but the most recent one pitched 6 innings, only giving up 2 hits and 2 walks with 15 strikeouts. So he got 18 outs, and 15 of those were strikeouts. And that was a career high in strikeouts for Blake Snell. Now, that was a great outing, of course. Now, what did he do in the outing before that? Against the Los Angeles Dodgers, a really tough lineup. He pitched 6 innings, giving up 2 runs and only 4 hits with 4 strikeouts. And then start before that against Minnesota, pitched 7 innings, only giving up 1 hit with 8 strikeouts, 0 runs. Outing before that against Toronto, 5 innings, no runs given up, only 1 hit. So in his last 4 outings, he's only given up 2 runs and only has given up a total of 8 hits, and that is in a total of 24 innings pitched. So he's pitched 24 innings, and he's only given up 8 hits and 2 runs. So his last 4 outings, he's been terrific. But before that, Blake Snell was doing absolutely terrible this season. So he's really started to turn things around in his last 4 outings, and that has really changed things for him. And it's really gotten some trade buzz, going around for Blake Snell. And the Astros are a team that have been linked to Blake Snell and potentially interested. If you guys remember, right before the season started, the Astros had some interest in potentially signing Blake Snell and bringing him on board with the Astros. He wanted a little bit too much money. I think it wasn't that far off from what the Astros were willing to give him. So the Astros could have signed him, but he got a little bit more money with the Giants. I believe they gave him a 1-year, $32 million deal, and the Astros were only willing to give him $30 million, I believe. And he's going to be a free agent after this year because he signed a 1-year, $32 million deal. So he would be a rental for the Astros. And with him, look, I know he's been great in his last 4 outings. He's been terrific. He looks like the 2-time Cy Young winner that we've witnessed last year, who won. This is the guy in 2023 who won the Cy Young Award in 2023 with a 2.25 ERA in 32 games with 32 starts. So he's been fantastic in his last 4 outings. He looks like the guy we witnessed in 2023 with the Padres, maybe even a better version of that. But there's also there has been so many struggles for him this year, even injuries as well for Blake Snell, and that's not it. I mean, let's also mention the fact that he has a terrible contract and he's a rental because he's going to be a free agent after this season. I think it really kind of kills the trade value of Blake Snell. If this is someone who was under contract for multiple years, if the Astros were, gaining control of him for the 2025 season or the 2025 and the 2026 season, I think the Astros would potentially give up a solid amount to land Blake Snell. But they're taking on a terrible contract, assuming maybe the Giants do take a part of that salary. We'll see how that would play out with the Astros or any team they trade with. If they move Blake Snell. But I mean, I don't think the Astros would be willing to give up a lot for Blake Snell, who has a bad contract, or not a bad contract, but is making a lot of money. Maybe you could say bad contract for the way he has played in the entire year of 2024. If you look at his first 6 starts, yes, the last 4 starts have been good, but if you look at every start he's made, it's been a bad year with a 5.10 ERA. Sure, is he turning things around now, but it's been a bad year. Plus, he's a free agent with a bad contract. So I'm going to go over what I think would be okay for the Astros to give up to land Blake Snell and add him into the pitching rotation. Because even though he has struggled this year and he has a terrible contract, if you ask me, he's still way better than Jake Bloss, if you ask me, and he's way better than Spencer Arrighetti. With the struggles he's had, I don't know if I'd take him over Framber Valdez or Ronel Blanco or Hunter Brown, for that matter, or maybe even Justin Verlander. But if you look at the 5-man rotation right now that the Astros have been going with, at Framber Valdez, Ronel Blanco, Hunter Brown, Spencer Arrighetti, and Jake Bloss, we have 3 guys who are amazing starting pitchers in Framber, who yes is inconsistent, Ronel Blanco, and Hunter Brown. But then there's 2 rookie starting pitchers who Spencer, yes, he's had his good moments this season, but recently has been really struggling. And he's not someone that you want to be, he's not someone you want to have starting in the postseason. And then, of course, Jake Bloss is not someone I think I would want starting in the regular season, so for sure don't want him starting in the postseason. The Astros need to get an extra arm or 2 to get in the postseason, starting pitching arms, if Justin Verlander and Luis Garcia do not return like the Astros think they will. Look, we can all have positive hopes that JV and Luis Garcia or one of those guys will return, but if they don't, the Astros really only have 3 starting pitchers who are going to be good in the postseason for them, with Blanco, Valdez, and Hunter Brown, not to mention that Valdez was terrible in the postseason last year. And then there's 2 other rookie pitchers. Now, this rotation is a little bit different if you get back Luis Garcia and Justin Verlander, because then you have Justin Verlander, Luis Garcia, Framber Valdez, Ronel Blanco, and Hunter Brown. And maybe you could even say you don't need to add in another arm. Most likely the Astros would need to add in another arm because in case someone else gets injured. But, I mean, things would look a lot better. But there's no guarantee that one or both of those guys will come back because things, have gotten worse for both Justin Verlander and Luis Garcia in the process of coming back from their injury. But let's go over what I think the Astros, what is a realistic give up for them to get, Blake Snell. And I don't know if the Giants do this, but I think this would be a good offer by the Astros. And if they won't do it, then go get a starting pitcher elsewhere, because there are plenty of other starting pitchers who you don't have to give as much. You don't have to take their salary as much as Blake Snell does. Way cheaper in trade value and their contract. So I think Will Wagner and Jacob Amaya should be the offer that the Astros throw to the Giants for Blake Snell. Will Wagner is the 13th best prospect. He plays in the infield at second and third base. He can also play first base. He's had a great year in the minor leagues in AAA this year, 25 years old. I think this would be a good offer, mainly because the fact that they could use an infielder or 2 right now, the Giants, and, this is a guy in Will Wagner who's had a great year, has a batting average of .307 in Sugarland in AAA. He has an on-base percentage of .424, an OPS of .853, 70 games, 261 at-bats, 51 runs scored, 80 hits, 13 doubles, 2 triples, 5 home runs, 41 RBIs, 54 walks, 33 strikeouts, so doesn't strike out often, with 3 stolen bases. In his last 10 games, he has been pretty good. He has a total of, I believe, like 10. Yeah, he has 10 hits in he has 10 hits in 36 at bats in his last 10 games, with a total of 7 RBIs. So he's been doing a good job this year in AAA, mainly in his last 10 games as well, and has been one of the best players for the Astros in AAA this year. You look at some of the top guys who've done a great job at AAA. You can look at Pedro Leon, you can look at Shea Whitcomb, and then Will Wagner's right there as well. And even though he's the 13th best prospect, I think if the Astros had their top 30 prospects updated, I think you're looking at Will Wagner being in the top 10. Now let's get to Jacob Amaya, another infielder who's playing in AAA currently. He has not done as good as Will Wagner has in AAA. His batting average is .230 this year. in the minor leagues, and actually his batting average, two different AAA teams, 182 with Jacksonville before he was acquired by the Astros, and then he played in Sugarland, batting average of 232. So with the Astros in Sugarland, batting average is 232. On base percentage 333, OPS is 700, 55 games played, 194 at bats, 33 runs scored, 45 hits, 9 doubles, 2 triples, 3 home runs, 26 RBIs, 28 walks, 53 strikeouts, and 4 stolen bases. In 2023, he played a total of 4 games with the Miami Marlins with a batting average of 222 and an OPS of near 500. In 9 at-bats, he had 2 hits with 1 run scored and 2 RBIs, only striking out 1 time in those 9 at-bats with 1 stolen base. So Jacob Amaya is a very young player who plays shortstop and second base at 25 years old, who you could say also has a bright future. So this is the 13th and 21st best prospects on the Astros pipeline, and I think these are 2 guys right here who, if you redid the Astros top 30 prospects, I think both guys would go up. I think Will Wagner would probably be in the area of 10 to 8, and I think Jacob Amaya would probably be in the area of 18 to 15 in the top 30 prospects. Let me know your thoughts on the Astros potentially trading for Blake Snell in the comment section, and peace out. Go Astros.